Today, we are going to talk about the job of an account executive. If you are in sales or you're just trying to learn the vocabulary related to the sales job, I want you to take out your notebooks. We are going to learn a lot. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler du job d'un account executive. Si vous êtes dans le domaine ou vous êtes intéressé par ce domaine, aujourd'hui, j'ai mon ami Rudy qui va vous parler énormément de ça en anglais. Hello everybody, it's Coach Joe, your English coach, and today I have my friend
Rudy.
Thank you so much, Rudy, for being here and for inviting me in your home.
Pleasure. Thank you, Coach Joe.
Thank you so much. So, Rudy, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, of course. Well, my full name is Rudolph Armstrong. I'm an account executive at BHG Financial. So I've been in the account executive realm for over 15 years. Now let me take a step back. When a lot of people hear account executive, it's glorified salesperson. Yes and no.
Okay. So what is an account executive?
An account executive is someone that handles an account professionally to grow that business, a book of business, whether it's 50 clients or 100 clients, and I'm looking to grow that book of business over a period of time. Mm-hmm. Now I'm doing that professionally through various forms of outreach, whether that's meeting someone over a phone call, whether that's on a Zoom video meeting or an in-person meeting like me and Kojo are handling to close or accelerate a book of business. I've been doing this, as I mentioned, for about 15 years now, and there's some excellent tools and leadership qualities that you will learn on your career path.
That's wonderful. So what does it take to become an account executive? What kind of studies do you need to do? And then when you start in the sales business, where do you start, like from the bottom to the way you are right now, 15 years later?
Great question, Kojo. So where you really start in the industry is as a sales development representative.
Sales development representative.
Yes.
What is that?
That's a SDR. So basically, you're the front level of the company. You're reaching out to individuals daily. It is a grind. It's a volume play. Yeah. So you're constantly reaching out to individuals. Let's say anywhere through 250 outreaches to 500 outreaches a day.
Wait, a day or a week?
In a day. What? So that could be in a combination. So it's about 100 phone calls and then 100 emails and then maybe 100 LinkedIn messages. We call it social selling. So you have to use multiple tools to be able to communicate or get the attention from your client because they may be unaware of your service that you're providing for, say, a solution to a problem they may have within their enterprise business.
Got it. So sales development represent, is that what you call it, SDR, sales development represent?
Yes.
And then so how many years are you expected to work that grind? Because it seems like a ton of grind.
Yes.
How long are you expected to work as an SDR before hoping to get promoted?
The average SDR, you could see an entry point to move from your career move is about 6 to 12 months, depending on your metric performance.
Okay.
And your performance is really based on KPIs, and those KPIs are...
Is that key performance indicator?
Okay. Yes. And these metrics are basically measured on a weekly to a monthly basis, then followed into a quarterly basis. So if you're hitting your weekly quota, your monthly quota, and then your quarterly quota, you can fast track to become an account executive within 12 months.
Wow. That's amazing. And how long did it take you? I don't want to put you on the spot.
It took me about 6 to 8 months to level up from that SDR role to AE role.
Amazing. And then what kind of studies are you expected to do before getting into the sales business?
Honestly, you have to take your college degree. Some people do have a college degree and some people don't. So don't let that college be a barrier of entry.
Yeah.
It's just really your hunger and your drive to be successful. And that's what makes a great salesperson, is really your drive, your dedication, and your confidence about what you're selling.
Yeah.
Because if you're not confident in what you're selling, why should I buy from you?
Absolutely.
If you're not dedicated about being on time, dedicated about putting the extra mile, about making what is just asked of you, then you're not going to be successful.
Gotcha.
If you can't just be on a timely manner or organized, then you're not going to be successful. It's really a volume play.
And would you also say that being a people's person is one of the keys to being successful as a salesperson?
Yes, being a people person is a great tool, a great asset, but more so understanding the challenges of your client, really asking them questions. You don't want to be talking to your client. You want to be understanding of what their problem is. You want to be kind of as not acknowledged as an advisor. So you want to be a great therapist. A great salesperson is a great therapist, a great listener. I was told this when I was at a young age caddying. You have 2 ears to listen twice and a mouth to speak once.
Absolutely.
So those are the tools of being a great salesperson.
You heard that? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You have to listen twice as much as you speak. Very, very important. That's a great quality, not just as a salesperson, but overall as a human being. It is very, very important to practice active listening. All right, so can you tell everybody what you sell specifically?
Yes, specifically, over the years, I've sold a lot. And I sold everything from health and beauty aid products at L'Oreal, to event production, large trade show and conventions, to information at wealth management, so data information for wealth managers to read, as well as financial advice. So I'm currently at BHG. I am helping people with personal and business loans.
This is very interesting. So it's not like you sell one specific product or you have been selling one specific product over 15 years. How long does it take you to get up to speed with the product that you are expected to sell?
Great question, Kojo. So to be a great salesperson, it takes 3 traits. 1, to know your sales process, to know your industry knowledge, as well as your product knowledge.
Sure.
Now, if you have all 3 traits combined, knowing that in the industry or where your current place is, then you could be an excellent salesperson. So I'll put in perspective. At BHG, I am in charge of knowing my product knowledge of what the application looks like for my clients, whether that's for a business loan or consumer loan. Then also knowing the industry. What are interest rates going to be looking like currently, as well as potentially in the future when the Fed cut? And then 3, knowing my sales process, knowing where I am in the sales process, if I'm on the first contact with a client, if I'm following up, if I'm in the second stage of my close, or if I finally close the customer and I'm checking in to see how the product is doing well for them.
Is that what you call a sales pipeline, or?
That is kind of called your sales triage. Okay. Your sales pipeline is really most connected to the sales process, but having those 3 traits is ultimately what makes you a master salesperson.
Got it. All right, so thank you very much for that. I know that our viewers would love to learn some of the key terminologies that come up over and over again. Are there any words or expressions that you use very often as an account executive or just in the sales business?
Yes. As I mentioned, there are some great sales tools out there. Number 1 is Google. So where I would start is really using Google for keyword phrases.
Yeah.
So looking at sales keywords. Other words that you would search in Google are basically sales metrics. These are going to give you definitions and kind of a roadmap of where you're going to see vocabulary used in a daily subject matter.
Right.
Some of the daily words that I use are KPIs.
What is that? What does that stand for?
Yes, KPIs is a key performance indicator. Those are measured weekly, monthly, and quarterly.
What is a key performance indicator?
KPIs are used to justify your sales journey as well as your sales pipeline. Now we use certain systems or tools, platforms such as Salesforce or HubSpot, which are CRMs, customer retention management. So Salesforce is a great tool where you'll basically upload your customers, know where they are in a journey map, and then also how to communicate with that client.
Got it. So KPI is one terminology. CRM is another one that comes up all the time. How about sales pipeline?
So your sales pipeline is really on your sales cadence. So you could have a pipeline, let's say, of 10 clients or a pipeline of 100 clients. Now within that pipeline, you want to have a sales cadence. Within that sales cadence is how many times you're going to reach out to one individual to basically get an answer for them or a response for, let's say, a next step meeting, follow-up meeting, etc., etc.
Got it.
So your sales cadence could look from a 1 to 7, a 2 to 7, and I want you to kind of Google that as your homework of looking up what a sales cadence is.
Wonderful. Listen, everybody, I know that it's a lot. I mean, you're probably overwhelmed and you're probably asking, Coach, why are you not speaking French today? That's okay. Listen, don't be overwhelmed. Nous avons un programme d'immersion anglais sur mesure pour vous, les francophones. Nous avons aidé des milliers de francophones dans plus de 50 pays du monde. Si vous avez des problèmes avec l'anglais, cliquez tout simplement sur le lien qu'il y a juste en dessous de cette vidéo. Remplissez ce lien et moi-même, je vais vous contacter pour vous en dire plus. All right, everybody, don't worry. All right, so Rudy, can we wrap this up by talking about your aspirations as a key account executive, or for anybody looking to be in sales, what is the journey as, I don't want to say as a salesperson, because a salesperson sounds like, does it sound as low as saying that you're a secretary? Is that
No.
Okay, so let me use that terminology then. As a salesperson, what is the journey? What is expected of you, like right now, from the 15-year mark to if you want to continue on for the next 10 years?
Great question, Kojo. So honestly, in sales, there's individual roles, contributor roles, or there's upper management roles where you could be in a leadership.
Got it.
I chose to stay in the individual role because it could still be just as lucrative on the individual side as well as the manager side. Now, I'm only responsible for the book of business that I bring in. As a manager, if you want to grow, you're responsible for a team and how they perform as well as training that team. So if someone comes or goes, now you have to replace them as well as train them, and taking time away from, let's say, your other candidates who may be a rock star, average, or below average. Then from there, there's also senior roles where you could become a sales director, VP of sales, head of sales, where you're also in multiple leadership.
So you want to stay an account executive, is that correct?
Well, in my journey, I'm actually looking to start my own business, so I'm looking to jumpstart that and be kind of the president, but also knowing how to run a team. I've also created my own business as well, where I was a co-founder of a large agricultural farm opportunity.
Oh, that's amazing. So is that still in sales? Do you think that some of the skills that you have right now are transferable?
Yes. There's many transferable skills, whether you're coming from a web developer to whatever your industry is. You just have to know how to take your personal traits, know where your weaknesses are, what your strengths are, and knowing how to emphasize that to make sure that you are extending out your capabilities.
Absolutely.
And putting yourself in the right audience.
Listen, everybody, if you have dreams and aspirations, don't let them die with you. You have to activate those dreams. It is very, very important. Don't let fear be an obstacle for your ultimate purpose, what the Japanese people call ikigai. It is so important. We see a lot of people get trapped in the corporate world, and they sweeten the deal a little bit with what we call perks and golden handcuffs, and you stay there for years and letting your dreams die. Don't do that. Now, if you don't have any dreams or aspirations, then you can stay there for 30 years, but that's fine. But he is gonna move on at some point, okay? So it is very, very important to activate your dreams. Listen, I just wanna thank you so much for taking your time to explain what the sales job is and what it takes to be a good salesperson. I think that we learned so much. People are actually overwhelmed. I'm sure you guys are overwhelmed, but as I always say, take it one word and expression at a time. Just write one word and put it in your pocket, fold it, and then that day try to use that word multiple times. That's how you start remembering things. Practice fosters retention. Do not try to repeat the word KPI, 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 KPI. No, that's not the way it works. Okay, in your email next time, put KPI in the email, or key performance indicator, or sales pipeline in your email, for example, or CRM, right? That's how you start remembering the words. All right, everybody, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And guys, everybody join me in thanking Rudy for explaining what it takes to be a good salesperson.
Oh, thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you, everyone.
And everybody, if you're struggling thinking in English, don't worry anymore. Right after this video, click right here. Watch this video right now to learn how to start thinking in English. It's Coach Joe, your English coach. Take care, guys.